Lovelies. Okay, so this was a requested video by one of my subscribers. They wanted me to talk about brushes, what brushes I like, what brushes I use. So it's gonna be a quick video about brushes today. I do have all my brushes here out in front of me, so I will go through the ones that I like the most and I do use daily, and then ones that I feel that everyone needs. Please don't feel like you have to go and buy this exact brand or whatever. I'm just someone who believes that if you're going to invest in something like that, then you should get the best. That's just my personal feeling, but there are a lot of like no name or, you know, ones you can get at the drugstore that I've heard are just as good. So, you know, buy one. That's my advice. Buy one from a brand that you've never tried and then see. And then you never know, you might hit a gold mine and actually find brushes that are not going to cost you an arm and leg a brush. But my brushes, most of them are professional brands, if you want to call them that or whatever, but and some of them are not. Some of them are total little cheapies or whatever. So yep, so let's jump into it. The first few brushes I'm going to talk about are going to be eye brushes. They are going to be my my three go-to brushes I use every time I do a look, every day, doesn't matter if I'm wearing minimal or whatever, and these are the three. So let's start with the first one that I use. This is the Sigma E40 brush. It's a tapering blending brush. You'll see it's quite nice and fluffy, quite a big, and it's not a very dense brush. So this is for like your transition colors, blending out colors. I use this every day, every single day. If I do makeup, I use this brush. I highly recommend Sigma as a range. I've been very impressed with their brushes. You can get them from suppliers here in South Africa. There is one that I've bought other things from. I bought my Z palettes from, which is Turquoise Studio. I will link their website down below if you're interested. And I have very good service from them. These ones I personally purchased are from America, but they're the same brushes. It's the same supplier. They're obviously a supplier just bringing them in. Second brush I always use is the E38 Sigma brush. It's a bit smaller, you'll see. It's a bit smaller than the E40. So this one's more for like in the crease, diffusing, blending out to really get that sort of gradient look. Also every single day. The next one is a good old MAC brush. This is the 217. Very popular brush. I also highly recommend it. You'll see it's also a little bit of a different shape from the other two. It's more rounded. This is also good for blending, packing in color in the corner. I sort of use it more like to diffuse my corners and that when I do looks. But those three are my go-to die-hard eyeshadow brushes. If you buy those three, I'm pretty confident you could pretty much do any look. You would maybe also need a flat definer brush. I do have a Sigma one here as well. This is the E57. You can see it's flat. Well, it's flatter, it's not round. It's not round like this one. Like this one all the way around, it's round. This one's more flat. So this one you can use to pack on color with. There is a MAC brush that does the same thing. I think it's a 224, I could be wrong. But if you go to MAC and ask them for a flat brush, they obviously will recommend you the correct one. People there are very good. Another one that I also use every time I use a look is a flat definer brush. This is also the Sigma one that I've got. I use it every look. This is the E15 flat definer brush. And this is to go in your waterline underneath to apply the color before you blend it out, which you could use your MAC 217 for. So yeah, you could go in. You could even use it to do a defined line in the crease if you want. Also a very versatile brush. And then for like gel liners and that kind of thing, if you're not going to use an eyeliner, this is the Inglot 31T. You'll see it's an angled brush. So this you're going to use for gel liners. Because it's the angle, you can do in and do your wing. You can cut your wing quite nicely. I suppose you could use it for eyeshadow as well. You know, again, cut crease or in the eyebrow. Would be a really nice eyebrow brush because it is angled, so you can get those nice little hairs in. That's another one that I generally use. And that's really the ones that I use for eyes. I do have a lot of other ones, you know, for if you really wanted to go into it. But I think, you know, for starters, those four are it. If you want me to go more in depth with my brush collection, please leave a comment below and I will do that for you guys. Next, going on to our face brushes. This Okay, and sorry, my brushes are dirty. I haven't had a chance to clean them, so I promise you I clean them at least once a week, if not once every 2 weeks, because all of the makeup and bacteria, so they do normally look a bit prettier than this. But yeah, this is a Real Techniques brush. This is the Duo Fiber Face Brush. Again, I got these overseas, but now you can get Real Techniques in South Africa. I believe you can get them from Fashini's, you can get them from Woolworths, I believe I've seen someone say online, or you can order them. There is a page on Facebook called Best Beauty South Africa or Best Beauty SA. I'll also try to link it down below for you. And they sell these, and believe also Muse SA, who's on Instagram only. She also can get these brushes. So this is the one that I use for powder. So after I've done my foundation and everything, I go in, and this is what I use to buff on my powder with. Kabuki brushes. I got 2 different ones here. This one, I don't know if you can get it. You can see the difference. This is very loose and this is very packed. So I've really only ever used the Sigma one a lot. This is the Sigma Beauty F80. So this is to buff in your foundation. This one came in a pack that I got of about 18 brushes. So it's not a name brand. This person was just selling it. It was through MUD Dysentery in Santon. They were selling these packs. They were advertising them on Facebook, so I bought. My one friend, she loves this one. She tried it actually out today. We had a little makeup day at my house, and she loved this one more than this one. She said she loved that it was a bit looser and softer. So again, it's a personal preference what kind of kabuki brush you want. Do you want the packed one or the looser one? You can see the difference in the bristles. So yeah, that's a kabuki brush for foundation. A lot of you might recognize this next one as a foundation brush, which is this flat one. This is the MAC 190. I used this for a while before I discovered the kabuki brush. It's nice. It works for, like your more liquidy foundations, I guess. I honestly haven't used it in a long time. I actually started using it for like concealer or to put on my eyelids. I have stopped using it as a foundation brush. So, but it's also a really good brush. That's another different one that you can use for foundation. Next, going on to like sort of more powder brushes, you again can get different ones. This one I use to set my under eye powder. It is another Real Techniques brush. This is the contour brush. You see again, it says it's for contouring, which is obviously, here, but I just like the way it fits under my eye. So you can use it again for anything you want. If you want to use it for contouring, or if you want to use it rather for under the eye like I do, you can. So again, that is a Real Techniques one. Another Real Techniques one that I do sort of use is the buffing brush. So this I actually use sometimes for my bronzer and my contour. I do use that one. Then I have a angled brush, fluffy sort of brush. This also came in that pack that I was mentioning. But if you can find one that looks like this, I use this for my bronzing. I love this brush. For that, I use it also like every day when I do my bronzing and stuff. That's a very nice one. And then you do always need a big powder brush. Like you can see this one's quite big. You would use this one to blend in your highlighter, bronzer, and blush on your face. Or I also used to use it for putting on my powder on my face as well. Again, one you can use for quite a lot of different things. Then I've got my fan brush for my highlighter. This one I got from Dis-Chem. It is a Color, C-A-L-A, Fan 411. I do believe, if I'm not mistaken, this was like 20 Rand. 18 Rand, 20 Rand for this brush. Not the best quality, like in terms of the bristles. Like if I compare it to one of my, really nice brushes, it's I don't want to say plasticky, but for me, a fan brush is a brush that you can't really use for anything else except for highlight. So for me, like this is where I would go to the drugstore and try and find a dupe. You can get them, I think MAC has one, I think Inglot has one, I know Sigma has one, and Morphe brushes. I've yet to buy any of those. I've heard they're really good. All the other gurus on YouTube do rave about Morphe. I don't know if any of the suppliers in South Africa that bring in the Morphe palettes are bringing in the brushes. I must actually look that up, and if you guys are interested, let me know, and I will find out for you, and I'll put the information on one of my videos. So that's a fan brush. So that's obviously for cheeks, the side, on the nose, on the top of the lip, to give you that nice, you know, if you want to glow from space look. Next, we have a concealer brush. Oh, sorry, these are so dirty. Okay. I've got two here. So again, you can pretty much get the idea. I mean, you can use this one or this one. I like the longer one, obviously, because I do put my concealer quite far down to give you that highlight. This is a limited edition MAC one. You can see it came in like a limited edition pack. I'm really sorry. I don't know if they have. I'm sure they have a concealer brush. I mean, MAC has like everything. So that's the one from MAC that I use. Or there is one from Real Techniques as well, and this is called the Detailer brush. This you could even use to like get in the corner of the eye, you know, put your eyeshadow on the bottom, concealer. Again, a very versatile one that you can use for a lot of different things. Because also not everyone wants to have 20 million brushes. I mean, I've taken a lot of brushes out, but like this is all just eye brushes. Like I have a lot and I have a problem. I think I need to start like a support group. And then these are all face ones. You don't need all these brushes, girls, or guys. You really don't need all these brushes. Like, I've just accumulated over the years because I used to work in the industry, gifts, you know, from, yeah, like I said, when I worked, most of them from when I worked, and then recently, I mean, that one kit that I was telling you about where these brushes are from, there was 18 in there. I mean, that's a lot of brushes, even for a normal person. And then you'll find what you like and what you don't like. Like, sometimes I find buying those sets, like, you will not like or use even any of those brushes. Like, I've barely used any of them. Like, this one that I got overseas in a pack, I actually got these Real Techniques ones in a kit. Like, there was, I think I want to say there's 12 or 10 in the box. Like, this one is a pointed foundation brush. Never used it. It sounds terrible. It sounds like I'm, you know, it's a waste. So, sometimes you gotta weigh it out, like buying a kit or a set of brushes against buying one brush I've actually seen online right now, like before I started filming for the Sigma, for someone that's bringing them into South Africa. One brush was 505 rand. One. I bought a set of 18 of these ones for 400 rand. So at the end of the day, you gotta go, if I only use 5 out of the 18, you're still doing pretty well if you ask me. So definitely shop around with your brushes, guys. Don't just go and buy these brands that I'm saying that I have. I've got a lot of different brushes that I use. Like I said, I think I've even shown you in a video before, like these ones, these white ones. I'm sure you see me use them. This came in one of those random little like kits I got for Christmas one year from my boyfriend at the time's parents. Like, it's a silver kit. You know, it came with all the cheap makeup. I can't even remember the name. It was like one of those cheap kits that you get. I love these brushes. Like, there's 2 of them out of all of them. I mean, I chuck most of them away. Like, I love these 2. And they're like they're not even fancy brushes. So, you know, definitely don't just discard the cheapy looking ones or the ones at the drugstore. You can find some really good brushes that way, like I have. Okay, let's talk about contouring brushes, I think, quickly, because I think that's pretty much it. Again, I got these. The one is a Real Techniques, and this is actually a Makeup Revolution, which is in a UK company. You can get them to ship here, but I just want to show you what the brush looks like more than the actual what make they are. You can see that they are quite dense. This one is very, very dense. Like, it's very tightly packed compared to this one. This one you would use for your contour, for those girls of you who want to cut someone that it's so sharp. This is what you would use. Or even, you can even get now, I don't personally have one yet, it's literally a brush. So it's pretty much like this, but it's packed to like that. Like, it's fat, it's very, very thin and sharp, sharp, sharp to get the contour. So this is what you would use these for that. I just wanted to show you something that's just a bit of fun, a bit of a contraption that I also got. You can get here. They're called eggs or brush eggs. It looks like this. It's a silicone product that you put on your fingers, or you can put on, okay, mine doesn't fit all 3, so I put on these 2. And it's actually to clean your brushes. So you would, you know, go in like on a bigger brush, you would go in here, and it really gets in the bristles. And I must say, when I first saw these come out, I was like, gimmicky maybe. I was actually wrong. I was really wrong. They actually, my brushes have never been so clean. When I clean my brush with this, my brushes look brand new again. So again, I have a few brushes that are expensive ones, so I want to look after them. I want to get the life out of them. Look, no brush is going to last you a lifetime. Eventually you will have to replace it because the bristles will get old and you will overwash it, and from usage, you know, you will have to replace your brushes. But yeah, so I just wanted to show you this is called an egg. If you are interested in this, if you want to clean your brush, let me know, and then I will find it and I'll link it for you guys in the next video. And let me know if you would like a video on how to clean your brushes. I'm more than happy to show you how I do it and what I use, because there's also so many products out there in terms of like what product to use to clean your brushes with. There's some that are really expensive and some that are not. So yep, I think that's all I have to say about brushes today. If I have maybe not mentioned something that you really wanted to know, or I've left something out, or you have a specific brush that you want me to comment on and what I believe it might be for, please either post a picture on my page on Facebook or leave me a comment down below and I'll be more than happy to answer your questions. Thank you so much again for watching. I really appreciate your support. Please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel below, and I'll catch you on the next one, guys.